Cara Romanelli, class of 1987. West Junior High School, Watertown High School, Brandeis University. On the basketball court, she played for John Myers, who always gave her the toughest defensive assignment, a role she relished. On the track, she scored nearly 100 points for the Watertown High School track team over her 3 years in the varsity, showing her athleticism by taking part in a half a dozen different events, ranging from the long jump to the shot put to the low hurdles. As a sophomore, she was already a champion in the last of these, blowing away the competition in early season meet with Wakefield by 7 seconds. By her senior season, she was taking that success statewide with a gold medal in the shot put relay. She finished in the top 6 in another 4 all-star events, including the shot, the hurdles, the distance medley relay, and the 4x100 relay. Not surprisingly, she was awarded the Massachusetts Track and Field Scholarship for 1987. But it's perhaps in field hockey that Cara made her most lasting contribution to Watertown High School. As a junior, she had been instrumental in leading the 1985 squad to postseason play, scoring 8 goals and adding 5 assists en route to an 11-3-5 record. But now, as a senior, they were ready to make the drive for the championship. The team jumped out to a 4-0-2 start, then 7-0-4, then 12-1-5, the only loss coming against Division I power Melrose. Powered by a dynamic offense and a tenacious defense, Cara's unselfish play was part of both, but she contributed key goals and assists all year long. The team had a balanced offensive attack, which she was a part of. This was an outstanding team with players like Hall of Famer Lisa Romanelli, the great Kathy Gooden, Lauren Haggerty, Kelly Kazosian, Jeannie Manelli, Heather Stuckey, to name just a few. Despite their stellar regular season, they were seeded 8th in the state tournament. In the first game, they beat Ipswich 1-0, then shut down top-seeded Amesbury 2-1. And in the semifinals, Wilmington fell 1-0, and in the North Finals, it was Manchester's turn to be shut out. Suddenly, the state championship was within the Raiders' reach. And after a triple overtime game for the ages against Milton, the title was there. As the Watertown Sun's Jim Woodworth put it, team effort is an overused, trite expression, but it's the one that fits the 1986 field hockey team better than any other. The defense, led by Romanelli, was virtually an unsolvable puzzle. Cara, who was always a superb student, went on to Brandeis University after graduating from Watertown. She continued to excel at basketball. At the same time, the current Watertown High coach, Steve Harrington, was playing basketball there for the boys team. In track, she focused on the hurdles, long jump, and triple jump, bringing home a bronze medal for the University Athletic Association Championships in St. Louis in 1988. An extraordinary athlete, after stints as an administrator at Harvard and Lesley Colleges, Cara recently changed gears to become team leader of an outdoor equipment company, Timberland, in the customer service department. One of the outstanding field hockey and track performers in Watertown High School history, Cara Romanelli, class of 1987. Please stand and greet her.
Music selection, I like that. I have to say I'm a little bit intimidated by the size of this group here. Lately I've been speaking to an audience of 1. I just had a baby about 12 weeks ago, and so if I start saying like, thank you, he's out there trying to sleep. If I start saying like baby talk and things like that too, I do apologize in advance. I feel a little out of place only because I feel like I don't have the stories to tell, some of that I've heard here tonight and that I remember my dad telling here 2 years ago. But then I think maybe I do. I did get to play with some amazing kids that were mentioned, Goody and Jeannie Manelli and Lisa B, kids who went on to play Division I who were just outstanding field hockey players. But I think, and I don't have the stories to tell about playing in the park till it's dark like my dad does, and going and drinking a gallon of milk afterwards, and you know, all of these kind of neat, interesting, a different time, I guess. But my stories that I have to tell are more about my family and the way they supported me the entire time that I played sports. I have to give a lot of credit to my brothers and sisters. I have 4, and I was the youngest, and now that I look back, I can say, yes, I was completely spoiled, and they had to sacrifice a lot because my parents did support me. They came to every single game, and maybe didn't spend as much time at home because they were always at either the basketball games or the field hockey games or the track meets. My mom came to every single sporting event. Even the track meets where I think my events were over in the first 15 minutes. So there really wasn't a lot of me to see afterwards, but she stayed till the very end all the time, cheering on the entire team. Wasn't there just for me. That really rang true for me when I went to Brandeis. When I got to Brandeis, I was a little bit lost. I definitely had the big fish, small fish in a big pond syndrome. Got a little bit lost there in the beginning. There was no field hockey team. I did not know what to do with myself without playing a sport. Finally, preseason for basketball started, thank goodness, after crying to my dad, I'm not going to make it, I'm not going to make it. As a freshman, I have to say I rode the pine freshman year with the best of them. I think I maybe saw a few minutes of playing time if we were completely blowing out another team, or if we were losing so badly that the coach wanted to pull the starters. My parents still came to every single game, knowing that I wasn't going to get out there, but again, there to support the team. And that really, looking back, I took that for granted at that time, but now that I can look back and see what a commitment they made to me and to the players, I hope they know how much that means to me. And Dad, notice I'm not reading from the paper. You should be proud. The other people that I'd like to thank, I know that they're not here tonight, but Miss Donahue, the field hockey coach. I hear stories now because my niece Kayla is playing now for Miss Donahue and has played for her on various teams. The lessons that I learned from some of the coaches at Watertown High School, I really don't think they know how much of an impact they have on the kids. I remember Ms. Donahue, we were a really good team, and she had so many talented kids to choose from, yet I do remember, even at that age, really respecting her for the fact that she tried to play everyone, and that she also tried to play those kids who maybe weren't so athletically inclined, but they came to practice and they worked really hard, and she knew enough to reward them for their work ethic, not necessarily just for skill, but I don't know if she understands what an impact that had on my life. When I went to Brandeis, my best friend skipped double sessions to go to Mexico, and I remember thinking she'll never play. And the coach started her when she came back. She had skipped all her practices, and I was stunned. And I thought of Miss Donahue. I thought that just would never happen in high school. It really taught me a life lesson about just working hard and playing hard. I have to admit that I tried to coach. I thought, okay, I was pretty good at basketball. I should be able to do this. This could be easy. And I tried to coach a 13-year-old traveling team for the Watertown Boys Club. 13-year-old young women, that's an interesting group. For all of you who have them, I'm sorry. I thought that it would be easy, and I had so much trouble remembering who was behind me on the bench, who was out there on the court, what I wanted them to do, how to communicate it, and also trying to talk to a kid whose father is yelling at her from the other side, telling her to do all the things that I just told her not to do, and having parents come up to me afterwards and say, this one didn't get playing time, and this one got too much playing time. People don't understand how that is such a challenge. I'll never do it again. I'll be happy to stand in the stands and cheer everyone on. But it was just really a valuable experience for me because, again, you take a lot for granted, and those coaches really do make such an effort. I had Mr. Myers for basketball. He was also just so great, and also another one so good at rewarding people for working hard, not necessarily just for being athletically inclined. Those are lessons that I will not forget. I try to think of what my life would be like without sports, and I can't even imagine it. And when my husband and I found out we were pregnant, and even before, well, I was pregnant. He was happy about it. Even before, we used to talk about what sports our kids will play, hopefully. I personally am hoping against hockey and against swimming because they're just too early in the morning. But when I look at Reese, my son, and I think this is so cool. Will Dad coach you in soccer? Will I get to go see your games? Maybe he won't play sports, I don't know. I'll cheer him on in whatever he chooses. But I can't help but think that way. One of the first thoughts I had, what sports will he play, I wonder. It'll be neat to see. He was 9'9" when he was born, so I'm assuming football might be in the cards. I'm really honored to be here tonight. And to be the only woman, pretty cool, but really honored. Watertown has impressed me a lot. I did admissions work for Harvard University, and I think of Watertown as little four square miles, and you know, some high caliber kids come out of the school. When I started doing admissions work for Harvard and started reviewing some of the applications, that rang true even louder at that time. I was stunned. Just well-rounded, good, solid kids. And it speaks highly for Watertown. It speaks highly for the school system. I'm proud to come from this town. I don't live here anymore. I did move up to New Hampshire, and I'm still having a little bit of trouble with that. I'm a Massachusetts person, definitely. But Watertown impressed me even more when I left it and started going, doing the admissions work and seeing some of these kids who presented their applications and could compete with kids from everywhere. Even though we are just a little small town, it was great to see. I'm thankful to the nominating committee for selecting me. I'm thankful to my dad for putting the materials together. Our family has had some tough times in the past few years, and some really good times. New additions to the family. Both my parents have had bouts with cancer and are doing so well, and we're all thrilled with that. I'm just proud to be a Romanelli. I think it's an interesting name in this town. I think my dad's an icon. He can upstage the best of them. I'm just really proud to be up here to accept this award. I thank you all for being here. Thank you very much.